Tottenham won tonight. Young Daniel.
Yeah, could I go? If it's like fine with Harry, could I go first on the Tottenham thing? Because I actually have to run.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you got to go to bed. You got to go to bed soon. You got school tomorrow. So yeah, I know.
Nah, I have football practice. So.
Yeah. Hang on. What kind of football? Our football or your football?
Real football. You know, with the foot.
Good. I'm glad you said that. I like that.
Dan.
I like that.
Well, actually, tonight I'm wearing a R9 shirt. Different R9 to the one that scored today, but you know, same thing.
No, don't say same thing. No, don't do that.
Wait, I remember night. Yes,
Calm down. The pigeon was back today. But like he got injured as well. I don't know how bad the injury is. Hopefully it's not that bad because he's literally just come back today. This was his first start of the season. But even if it is, we've got good squad depth in that position, so we'll be fine. Mikey Moore, bro. Mikey Moore. For like about 20 minutes, I thought we had Neymar playing for us. Jesus Christ, this kid is going right to the top. He was tearing apart these like 4 players. Beautiful ball into Brennan Johnson. Like insane. There is no excuse for Timo Werner to ever start for the rest of the season again. Unless like all our left wingers get injured. Because we got Odebert, who's better than Timo Werner. We have Mikey Moore, who's 6 times better than Timo Werner. And Heung-min Son, who usually is going to end up starting in the left wing. And by the way, to go back to Timo Werner, this guy, he does. I said I don't want him to start again. I just don't want to see him in the team sheet again. Like I want his loan. I know it's a loan. I want the loan terminated right now. I think he's contributed. He's contributed more to our TikTok account than to our starting 11 with goals. It's gotten to a point where I just don't want to see him play football anymore. And it's not like I know he's a great person. I bet he is an amazing person. He just doesn't know how to shoot to save his life. He had like 3 chances today, threw on goal. Just completely messed them all up. And but no, someone is calling.
No, I wanted to say.
He's older than you as well, isn't he?
Yeah. He is.
Yeah, he is 1 year older, so I can still do that.
How old is he? How old is he?
17. He's 17.
He's 17. I've watched him play 2 or 3 times now, and I think again you got to nurture him because he's so young, but he needs more game time. I want to say this, and I don't want to overexcite anyone, but when watching him play, all that keeps running through my mind is this kid could end up being one of the greatest players in Manchester City's history when they buy him off you in a couple of years' time. That is how good he is. Genuinely, that is how good he is. So good, right? I'm going to stick it on Tottenham a bit here. You man better sort your club out, because if you dare ruin another player's career like you did Harry Kane, like I mean it's in a nice way. It's not a dig at you individually. It's this kid looks like he could be special, and a special player deserves trophies. And we know what your club is allergic to them. He looks amazing, like on a real level. That was the one person, because I had it on this screen here. I kept on hearing the commentators say his name, and I'm watching, going, "Oh my god, look at him!" And then I was looking at Anthony do spinny tops in the corner, and I'm like, "Oh fucking hell!" Like Jesus, he looked great, man. He looked great.
Quick question.
Don't worry about winning trophies, because we're going to win the Europa League this season.
Quick question. Do you think individual brilliance of footballers, that nature, that street ballers coming back to the game now? We've seen it again. It may just be a tadpole in the ocean when you look at Yamal and those type of players. But obviously we all know fashion ends up coming back around, don't we? Do you know what I mean? It takes about 30 years and you get back the same fashion. I'm hoping that street ballers come back to the game and get rid of this system shit, because so much has gone into this system shit where players are nowhere near as good as what they are. And to see you guys talk about this player, this young kid, same with is it Lewis for Man City, another good young player. Just watching these ballers play, just effortlessly play. To me, that's the beautiful game. And to sit out the way you've just sat out of your seat talking about this should be how footballers make you feel anyway. That's what we grew up on. Nowadays, it's did my man misplace a pass? Yeah, get him out of the team, bro. I watched Zidane and Ronaldinho misplace pass to anything. No one said anything because they tried something. And then when it worked, it was like, quality.
Yeah,
so the question is ultimately,
you see that great bit of skill we did, and then he did like outside of the foot pass across the box. Do you know what's really funny, right? So if you're a complete stat merchant, that officially counts as an incomplete dribble and giving away possession.
No, because it got to Brennan Johnson.
No, I swear it got intercepted.
No. Brennan
No,
Johnson got it. He shot it.
Well, that one,
and the defender
sorry, that
blocked
one didn't. There was another one that he did where he tried to pass and it was really good, but nobody made the run, so it kind of just trickled out. And that's where you can't. That's where I always say you've got to look with the eye and you've got to look at the stats. But generally, if you're with attacking players, if your eye test works, the stats are normally pretty good as well, if that makes sense. And there, but he looks a player. I will say this about Ange: you won tonight and you deserve to win. But if he keeps picking Timo Werner over Mickey Moore, there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong. He must be. Maybe the manager gets paid a percentage every time Werner kicked the ball. I don't know, but it's weird if he doesn't pick him because right now at 17, Mickey Moore's better than Timo Werner has ever been.
for sure.
He is. He genuinely is. I'm not even lying.
Wait,
He's better.
wait. Let's
better.
not. Okay. Listen, I
Better.
think Timo Werner is washed, yeah. But his
never been good.
first stint at Red Bull Leipzig,
Leipzig.
let's not lie him, man. Let's not lie him. He was.
Yeah,
If you actually go back to watch it, he still had the bad finishing. Like it's not been something like it was. Oh, he could just score, and then randomly he just lost that ability to
Yeah,
score.
but
He'd be like
also
3
the
meters away from the
statement
goal and
that
miss
Terry
every shot.
made, we have to pull it back. The statement that Terry made is ultimately ever been.
I'll double down. I'll double down, right? I'll double down.
Yeah.
I can't be proven right or wrong, but I'll double down because it ain't gonna happen. You send Mickey Moore now on loan to a club like Leipzig in the Bundesliga. I bet you he's not quite a striker like Werner was. I bet you he can get a higher level of GA in that league with the high lines they play in a decent team of Leipzig's level or higher. He could go over there. You know, he could go over there and I mean, you've always got, look at Elise already, the GA he's got. He's not a better player now within a few months of being at Bayern Munich. He's got better players around him, of course, and he's playing in a league where I think it is slightly easier to score than it is in England.
So
So
a 4-1 on that, to be fair. That's fair. That's a fair
yeah,
shot.
I'd do a 4-1 bet on that. I mean, we're never going to be able to test it because
sure.
Spurs won't loan him out. But
Oh,
my
wait,
belief
yeah,
is he's better than
Football Manager Sim. Football
Career mode.
Manager.
Put him into FIFA career mode.
Manager, we do it on that. Yeah, no, I think he's great. No, he looked really, really good. But you got the job done tonight. You're looking comfortable in the Europa League, and yeah, it seems like Ange is kind of over that sort of little blip that he was going through.
Henry,
Henry was
calmed down now? Have you calmed down with the Ange outside? Are you back on the? You know what? You can do a job for us, or you still want to?
Still a long way to go. I expect us to beat AZ Alkmaar, but obviously hope you guys are well. And big up to my old manager Jose Mourinho for doing a job tonight on your Terrace shit. But yeah, I mean, Ange has definitely turned a corner. We've won 8 of the last 9 games. So I'm happy to critique and criticize him when it's due, and I'm happy to praise and give him props when it's due. And tonight, he rested, I think, 6 of the first team. The only one of our backline played was Udogi. Vicario was rested. Son. Kulusevski, nice little cameo off the bench. But yeah, Mikey Moore, he's the second best 17-year-old in the world for me. Other than Lamine Yamal, this guy is incredible. And Terry will tell you, I've been speaking about him ever since I started doing the Top 6 show, which is probably on and off for over a year now. He is incredible. And he's just going to get better and better and better. The only problem is, do we align to his vision? Probably not. So unless we start winning silverware, which you'd imagine he's going to want ASAP, the bids are going to come running. And when he's now got a professional contract, he'll get another contract at 18 and 19. And in the next 2 years, is obviously massive for his potential, his growth. He's got to be nurtured. He's got to be played in the right games. I don't think he'll start a game for a little while, if I'm being honest, just because this manager's got trust in Timo Werner. I don't know if he'll start Galatasaray away. I think if we beat Galatasaray away, we've qualified for the next round of the Europa League. I'll be honest. I don't think there's a standout team this year. Like, I don't think Athletic Bilbao have been good. I thought Roma would be a lot better than they have. Obviously, you guys at the moment, I mean, yeah, we've already spoken about Man United for the longest.
You don't have to worry about them, bro.
Yeah, literally, we're not winning.
I don't
as long as they keep it hard, doesn't matter, bro.
We change manager.
You just don't have to worry about them, bro.
I don't think Tottenham, we're never the team to beat. But right now, it's like we're not even playing. Like, we're winning games, but we're not like blowing teams off the park. You know, like we barely flexed our muscles tonight. We should have had a second penalty. You know, Madison played really well, putting passes into the channels. Nice little cameo from Kulu. Richarlison obviously gets his penalty. Nice little finish. Defensively, other than like a Dragusin hospital pass, like I think we could have played that game 10 times, and I don't think AZ would ever have scored. And that's no disrespect to AZ because
That
they're
sounds like us.
like I don't know. And it's the same against
Yeah.
when we played Karabag. Like
Yeah.
it sounds weird because it doesn't feel like we're playing Europa League when we've played in the past. We've had like some really tough groups. This year, because of how many teams are in like the pool of teams, I think we like the only tough test we've really got is Roma and Galatasaray.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
yours is coming.
Everton-
Yours
No,
is coming.
Porto, Real Sociedad. I don't think you're the
Bro, I don't
best
think
team
either
in
of them
that
that great.
competition.
Yeah.
It's not
I mean,
about that. It's
but-
because you're
but-
Spurs, bro. Because you're
Yeah,
Spurs.
but
That's
I
the
get what you
problem.
mean though. But it's the way these games work. Like United have had
Yes.
again. I've got to look at Man United have had
our
the
hardest
toughest
ones.
games out the way already. Like you look at the caliber of the next groups. Even as bad as we are, we should be picking up those wins. Some people have had their
And
easier
now
games.
we're not going to win. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah,
The
Terry's
judge
ruined
picks
it.
us again.
But I agree with you. I didn't think, even though they had those opportunities, it was weird. I just didn't feel like they were ever going to score. It just had one of those feels about it tonight. It was a good header in the first half they had, but I also felt that you guys could up your level if you needed to, and it was almost you kind of play within yourselves somewhat as well. But
the big question is going to be is what does the manager do with James Maddison? Because
Sell him.
well, I don't know if you guys watched the West Ham game. He made that change at half time where he brought on Pap Sarr and kind of played a double pivot with Kulu. And Kulu's been our best player this season. And Kulu has been like really, really, really good in the 8 and the 10. But against Crystal Palace, I don't know if Maddison should play because I think Palace will come on. Palace have got to win that game, right? They're struggling. It's probably the last game before their manager is going to get the sack. And I think if we go the two attacking midfielders, it's a lot more like risk reward strategy. And I think Maddison in the sort of game like tonight, where we're going to have all the ball, is when you're going to get him at his best. But in a lot of the other games in the Premier League, I don't know. Like this is what I've wanted to see from Ange is when it comes down to these big decisions. Where's your bottle? And he showed the bottle and he took Maddison off, and it worked out, and we scored 3 goals in 10 minutes. But I look at our Europa League games. We've got Hoffenheim away. We should go out there and beat them. We've got Elfsborg at home. We should be beating them. We've got Roma at home. Now, Roma is a test for us. You know, they've got some good players. And we've got Galatasaray away. If we beat Galatasaray, that's it. That's it. I think we've qualified. We would have won our first 4 on the bounce.
With 9 points, you're already qualifying. Think about it. Are you gonna qualify without the extra game or not? That is what people want.
You're not. You're probably at a
You'll
point where
get
you're
top
not.
8. You'll definitely get top 8.
You look like you're getting top 8, but you're.
What do we need, sir? Sorry. What do you think the cutoff is for points wise to go through in these groups? Because
10.
There's no cutoff. It's just everybody
Yeah,
goes
I
out.
know,
Goes
but
next
like,
one.
No, Sunshine. I get
Only
your point.
12 teams go out.
Sorry, Sunshine. I get your question. I think the real answer is no one knows yet. Like, I think that everyone's kind of guessing. Oh, if we get 15, 16 points, will we be in the top 8 potentially? That's what I like about this first format is we used to know in the group stages. Generally, if you got 10 points, you were through. I think once Man United got 10 points and didn't, but generally you got 10 points, you were through. Like in the Premier League, you get 40 points, you stay up in the league as an example. But no one really knows, and it's such a weird one. One of the things I said in the draw, which got shut down by the panel, is that if you get your hard games first and you lose a few of them, like Bayern Munich have, as an example, Man United have drawn some. Yes, you've got easier games to come, but it puts far more jeopardy on them because you have to win them, and it changes the complexity of the of the games and everything, which I'm intrigued by. This super chat here says Chelsea fan TV and Chelsea fans got abused before the game. Let's see if Sky Sports say anything. Let's see if we get protected or get backed up. Oh, yeah, look, sorry, I didn't know about any of that. I'm sure that happened over in Greece. I apologize. I mean, Man United fans today were being attacked and, ransacked in places.
Obviously, because they're not English fans and not English.
Well, we saw it in Germany. We saw it in Germany, didn't we? Like, we were in a bar one night, and this was one of the maddest things I've ever seen. There was loads of fans from different countries in there. It was just before the final, but before the semi-finals. There was loads of French in there, loads of German, obviously, in there. There was English in there. And it was a great atmosphere, wasn't it, KJ? Like, every group was singing their songs. We were watching the semi-final of France-Spain, was it? It was France-Spain. So there were Spanish people in there. It was a great atmosphere. But the door staff in there just had a hard-on all night to, like, beat up someone that was in English. And they went for it. And they got these 2 guys, and it was so sad to watch, actually. Just normal lads sitting there drinking. and we didn't know this to begin with. Luckily, I had cash on me. Is at the bar, and it was full of people. You order on your table, you pay at the end, and they said it was cash only. So these two guys, they've been there all night. They are drunk, and everybody could hear and see this. They were like, "We want to pay the bill," and the waiter come over and said, "Cash only," and they were essentially saying, "We've only got card." And they got the waiter started screaming and shouting, and there was a woman that was translating. She was a German woman that could speak English very well, and she was saying, "Look, they're not trying to not pay. They're asking if one of them can leave, go and get some money and come back." And she was screaming at these door staff and this waiter. They're not trying to not pay. There is no signs up in here saying it's cash only. They don't have cash. Can they do it? And in the end, they said, "Yeah, okay, it's fine, do it." And then it all went quiet and everyone kind of relaxed a bit. Well, okay, we'll get back to the football. And then out of nowhere, these doormen just started like smashing them, hitting them with glasses. Even the waiter was like choked one of the guys out, so he was unconscious. And then they got him outside. These guys all beaten and all bloodied up and nasty. And they're sort of standing there like half conscious. And this guy, he could barely see. He's just standing there like this, doing nothing. And then the doorman hit him on the chin again and knocked him spark out cold on the floor. Police arrived and arrested the two guys they beat up. And the woman that was translating was having to be restrained because she's saying they didn't do anything. And it made me laugh a little bit because I was like, there are some English fans that absolutely need to be banned from traveling, I think, anywhere, let alone when there's football on. But it is interesting how, again, that story was quite small, but it was like no media attention on that. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was just two normal blokes who had their whole trip ruined just because they didn't know that it was cash only. But none of us did. It was just fortunate. I remember saying to KJ, I was like, thank God we had cash on us. Because they were like looking for it. So it does happen. By the way, it doesn't excuse all the wanky England fans that go around. I don't like those dickheads either, but that was a mad night in there. It was a crazy night. It really, really was. Super chat here. Sorry, because I must correct Terry. Timo Werner was cooking far better than most high-level wingers for big team. But he wasn't a winger that season with all those goals. He was playing as a centre forward predominantly. So I will concede that Mickey Moore may not score as many goals as he did. But we also all know that GA isn't the only attribute of reviewing a player. I think if you put him in a really well-organized team, as RB Leipzig were then, and you put him in that sort of left-hand side attacking role, I think he could get a higher level of GA, plus be a top performer in that league. I really do. But there we go. Look, I want to